Okay, so Candace Lee back here to talk about the next steps. So the next steps when you're working out your meal prepping and planning and how you're going to get started. We talked about scheduling. We talked about kind of getting your recipes kind of like over in a nice repertoire or folder of something easily accessible. We talked about shopping from home, so that way you start with looking at what you have before you start planning out your meals and before you buy groceries. Now in essence we can talk a little bit more about the grocery shopping, or in essence what happens when you bring home the groceries. I recommend you actually spending a little bit of time putting away the groceries, as in actually prepping it at that time. So it means, in essence, for me, it has to do a lot with the produce. So vegetables and fruit get washed, dried, and separated into whatever the containers or spots that they need, but also chopped up and prepared in that way as well. So things that we eat as snacks tend to be like celery, cucumber, carrots, things like that. Easy to grab and kind of snack on. They will be washed and prepared so that we can just grab one and go. And the same for like the fruit, so we can easily grab and go kind of idea. If I'm actually knowing I'm making stir fries for the week, or some like nourish bowls, I will actually chop them all up so they're prepared as well. I won't put dressings or anything in them. Just chop it up and have them set aside in portions so that I'm ready to throw into a stir fry or throw into a nourish bowl. The same thing kind of happens when we bring home protein. We'll bring home like the big family pack ones, but there's only 2 of us, so we will separate it into 2 meals. So I like to cook once, eat twice scenario. So we'll cook up a whole bunch of chicken and it'll be good for something for lunch the next day, but also dinner, that kind of idea. If you're not into leftovers, then only portion it out for single portions or whatever your family portion might be. That way, one, you're not bored. You're not always eating chicken or whatever it might be. So, if you get the family pack and defrost the whole thing at once, you're eating chicken for the whole week. But if you don't want to do that, then definitely portion it out. So that's another thing what we do when we bring home. That's the same thing with ground protein of any form. It could be any of that kind of idea. It gets portioned out. Dry goods, I'm very much into visualization. So if I can visually see it, I will remember to always get it. If I finish something and throw it out and don't write it down into my grocery list, obviously I'm going to forget all about buying it again the next time. So either get into a routine. If you finish your rice or oatmeal or something, you write it on a grocery list, and that could be a whiteboard on your fridge. It could be an app. I use our grocery app. That way it connects to my husband's phone as well, so that when he's out, he doesn't have to ask me what we need to buy. He just goes and looks at it and knows it's there. Same thing for me. So that's a good option for as well. So visualization. If you have a small cupboards and small pantries, divide it and conquer. So have small amounts of rice and oatmeal in your kitchen, and have the bigger portion in your pantry, whether it's downstairs or in the other room or whatever it might be. That way, again, you're not always taking up too much transportation, like going from the kitchen to the pantry and back and forth, because then also that tires you out and you're like, oh my god, this is so much effort, I don't want to do this. So if you cut that all out and have a pretty systematic system on how to make things or where to get stuff. It's the same thing with making smoothies. I have a smoothie station when I'm ready to do it. So it's right beside the freezer, so I can grab what's in the freezer. Protein powders above the blender is right there on the counter, and away we go. So working in your real estate that way is really awesome. So there you go. So that is how I kind of prep and plan when I bring home groceries. It's not just stuff them into the fridge or pantry, but actually put them away systematically. Thanks.